When you can pull a tall cylinder like this, you can create so many things. You can create vases like this. You can create big bowls like this, and even tall travel tumblers like this. So let me show you how we got here and all my tips for pulling taller walls. Once you can pull a tall cylinder, the possibilities are truly endless. You can pull it out into a bowl, a wide serving dish. You can make vases and tall cups like this. But it all starts with knowing how to get your clay up and not just out. But before we get into it, look at my cute new travel tumblers. I'm literally so obsessed with these. These are live on the website if you want to twin with me. Okay, one more step. Okay, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is have more clay. I feel like when people go to make mugs, they grab like 1 pound of clay. For my mugs, I use 2.5 pounds. If you want more height, you've gotta have more clay to pull up. My second tip is that when you're opening up your clay, you're only gonna open it about 2 to 2.5 inches. So many of my students love opening up their clay, so they'll literally pull it out here when they're trying to make a mug. I want you to take a look at one of the mugs you have in your cabinet. Look at the floor of the mug. How big is it? It's definitely not out to here. This is the floor of your mug, so make sure it's only a couple of inches wide. Step number 3, before you start pulling your walls, push the top in. Because naturally when we pull the walls up, they come out a bit, so we can counteract this by pushing it into like a volcano shape before we start pulling. Now when most people pull their walls, they pull it like this, and they pull it out. Now this ended up being straight up because we put it into a volcano shape first, but typically when people pull walls, it'll come out into a bowl, even when they're trying to get like a cup or a vase. And the reason that happens is because people are pushing too much pressure on their inside fingers and making the piece get wider. Instead, try and focus all your pressure into your sponge hand. The pressure is coming from my right sponge hand, and my inside fingers are just hooked onto the clay and pulling straight up. They're not pushing out like this. They're pulling up like this. Another really helpful step for pulling taller is to cup your hands like this and collar the piece in. That way, if it gets too wide, you can push it back in and do your next pull. Another thing I see a lot is people will pull their walls, but they're really not moving much clay. Or they'll pull their walls and they'll have this big hunk of clay at the bottom here. So when you go to pull your wall, take your sponge for a second and just push straight in to get a little dent underneath the clay. Then you're going to push pressure right underneath that clump you created. You're gonna hold the pressure there and pull up. What that does is it allows you to grab clay to pull up. Instead of just pulling a minimal amount of clay, you're pulling up a big clump. Another way I teach this to my beginners is to take a wood rib tool and scrape off the bottom so there's an easy place for your fingers to grip. Now I do medium to slow speed when I'm pulling up my walls, because I feel like it gives me more control. I'm gonna do one more pull for this piece, doing everything we just talked about. So I'm taking my sponge hand, I'm pushing in first, I'm grabbing on, hooking onto that with my inside fingers, pulling straight up, going about medium speed, keeping it consistent as I come all the way up and off the piece. I lied, we're doing one more pull because I can still feel clay at the bottom here. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, this is great and all, but I'm still struggling to pull walls in general, head to my channel because I just posted a video about how to pull walls in general for beginners. And if you took something from this video, please give me a like and subscribe because this channel is new and it helps so much. And as always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments because I love creating content that's helpful for beginner potters. And I would be happy to show you how to do anything you're looking to learn.